Hey guys, welcome to our Freedom Tribe weekly team call. Thanks to you guys that are joining us live, and those of you that are listening in the recording, we're glad that you're taking the listen. So this is a weekly call, Sunday nights at 9 Eastern time for half an hour. It's a time for us to come together, rally together, really share ideas, share some wisdom, share some of the things we've learned, some of the lessons that we've had, celebrate and recognize each other, and to grow our tribe even stronger. So I'm really grateful that you guys have all made an effort to be here tonight and to listen in. So this is, if you are listening in record mode or you're listening to this and you are not a part of Isagenix, we are a health and wellness company. We are all associates of Isagenix on this call, which means that we eat the food and we also share the food. So Isagenix makes no claims to prevent, cure, treat, diagnose any illness or disease. What one person puts into their Isagenix journey is what they'll get out of it. No two bodies are the same. And the same with the income opportunity. Everyone has the opportunity to make amazing things happen financially, but that's not going to happen the same for everyone because it really depends on you and what your dedication and your consistency level is. So on that note, we're going to get into, first of all, we're going to do some celebrating with our dear friend, Sabrina Zancic. Woohoo!
Yeah, girl.
Sabrina. So Sabrina, we're going to put you up on the pedestal here, and we're going to let you do a few minutes share here about your newly appointed executive status, and maybe some hints or tips as to what you did to get your buttocks there, because you rocked it the whole time, but especially the last couple of weeks. Black name badge, oh yeah. Woo! So Sabrina, I'm passing it over to you.
Okay, so okay. So basically what I did was I made that decision, and first and foremost, that was the most important thing. I remember I had this conversation, and Renata was in Lake Tahoe when I called her and said, I have to make this happen. I have no choice to make this happen. I was cleaning my bathroom at the time. And she was like, you have no idea the water. I'm looking over this water, and I'm like drinking this water with all this energy and stuff. And I was like, wow, okay, like, I know I'm going to be there one day. I'm going to be there one day. I have to make this happen. Of course, it was like a little while ago, but at that moment, it was just that wall kicking moment that I could be that person at Lake Tahoe. I could be that person surrounded by like-minded individuals. And I literally have the best team and the best amount of people behind me that I've never had anybody believe in me like from day one since joining in on this journey. And it's been 2 years going, and I know that basically, like I said, just made that decision. I just made the decision that it was like, this is the week to go. And I remember when I was like, is this your run week? I'm like, no, I don't think so. But then the next week I was like, no, I'm going to hit director. No, I'm going for 10. And then boom, it was like director. And then boom, it was like executive. Because it was like, Paul even said it to me because I spoke to him when I got to director. And he said, put the pedal to the metal and just keep going. He's like, because now is not when you want to start. Now is when you want to keep going. He's like, it's just getting started. And when I was like, you have to make this happen. You have to make this happen. But of course people are saying you have to make this happen. But it was me that was yelling at myself saying it's going to happen. This is the third time that I was trying for executive, and everything happens in threes for me. But I think the difference between those 2 times and to now was I truly made that decision for myself. I didn't let anybody convince me that this is the way to go and this is how it has to be. I made that decision in my car driving home from work that this is the week that I'm going to go for it and I'm going to get it. And I don't care how many hours it takes. I don't think I slept a lot I slept for 14 hours last night because it was like everything I needed to like catch up on was in one night. So I'll show you guys what I did. You have to excuse me, but see behind my wall? See that? Okay. So that is basically my wall. My wall of wonder is what I call it, even with like my 6. I got my 6 lined up, and even all my other people to go consultant that may not, hold consultant. Everything is staring at me blatant in the face. Even Killian, your map to executive is on my wall too. So that is my tip for anybody going for executive is surround yourself with those names. Make sure it's right in front of you. You literally cannot miss that. You can't miss that massiveness. in my office. And of course my husband's like, you're painting the wall if anything happens to it. But I don't care, because I had to just basically look at it every single day. And it was a lot of moving names around. It was a lot of that. But that was my strategy, is just keep it on your forefront and keep yourself focused, because it's not an easy task, but you know what? It's possible. It's extremely, extremely possible. And taking from somebody who's in the start group, you know, you're a young person, and I guess like people say, oh, young people, you don't know, you have no life experience or whatever. But I think it's just, a part of me also said, like, I want to make Start a great group too, right? And I want to represent my team, and I want to show my team that this is possible. And I can't teach my team how to get to executive if I'm not an executive. Mm-hmm. So that was my number one thing, that leaders, they go first, and it's just like learning a language. You can't teach Spanish if you can't speak Spanish. So you got to do that. So that's my tip for you guys, is keep it on your forefront, be extremely focused, drink a lot of coffee, have some e-shots, and then like get ready to rock and roll. Because honestly, Killian, you and I are going to dominate this world. Let's do it.
So awesome. Thank you, Sabrina. And you know, the decision is so key, and then the affirmations and believing it's happened already, you know, and that's one thing. And as, you know, as advice for you, and I'm sure Renato would stand behind me on this, is that keep going, keep creating those consultants. 10 is not enough. You want to keep going. From someone who's fallen in and out a lot. That was one of my things, is that, you know, it's like a freight train. If a freight train is completely stopped, it takes a heck of a lot of effort to get that train in motion again. Keep it going. You don't stop. You keep on going. Keep creating consultants. It's just, that's what you do, is create consultants. And a couple of the tips that came away from, we just had a start call with Audrey Moss and James McLeod, is that your perspective on your business is your reality. So, you know, if we think it's really hard, then it is hard. If we think it's not hard, it's just doing the do and staying consistent and decision, and then not remaking the decision every day. It's freaking exhausting to make the same decision every day. Decide once already, I'm doing it. And then you do everything in your power to work towards getting it done. Okay, so a lot to cover. I made some awesome notes here that I took from a few different calls that I listened to. So today, I know I've kind of gone around on what the schedule is, and I'm glad I had a couple of words of feedback from Renata and Sabrina when I asked about some of the leadership in the crew. You're all leaders, but some of the people that have, you know, been reached director and exec, as to how these calls are going, what your thoughts were as far as continuing the calls, especially between now and Christmas. We're going to keep going until December 18th, but tonight I changed the format. We're going to cover how to keep yourself staying a product of the product, and then also how do we continue sharing? Because, you know, for Sabrina to hit executive 1 month before Christmas, that's just an excuse that this time of year is a slow time, that you can't get shit done. Excuse my French. All right. So that's just an excuse. You can keep going. This is the best time, as far as I'm concerned, and Renata probably agrees with me, the best time to be able to keep those connections going. So personally, let's talk about personally what we can do as far as, you know, where we are with our own health, because a lot of times this is when people will slip and slide with their product use. People will decide, well, you know, I'm going to Christmas parties, I'll just jump into a cleanse right after Christmas. This is the best time to stay a product of the product. Enjoy your holidays, live your life, be real, but also just stay consistent, right? So some different things that we can do. I mean, you guys, I'm going to just ask you guys, I've got a list here, but let's have a conversation. What are some of the things you plan to do to keep yourself on track, maintaining through the holidays?
I'm doing at least a shake a day. I always do a shake a day. But those days that I know I'm going to go party, I'm going to have a couple of shakes a day. And I'm committed. I do my little 7 to 12 minute workout, not longer than that.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping to that 3-4 times a week. And I'm going to drink a lot. I'm going to eat a lot. And I am going to throw in, weekly cleanse days. That's what I'm doing during the holidays.
Awesome.
Or else we all gain 5 pounds, right? To 10.
Yep, exactly. Any other throw-ins there, you guys? Those are great tips, Renata.
Yeah, I'll throw in mine. It involves you teens. Like, Teeny and I have been going, like, you guys might have seen on Facebook, we go to the gym every morning. And again, it's like Sabrina said, like, you make the decision. So we made the decision that this is what we're doing and really championing it out until Christmas. So we have made the decision to also continue a regular gym routine while indulging in some of our favorite things. So that's what we're committed to doing.
Awesome.
Beth by Alenia.
Hashtag. Awesome. All right. Anything else to throw in there, you guys?
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, go, Sabrina.
I guess you guys probably see on like the Freedom Tribe group, I'm a huge like into baking and cooking and stuff, and I do all that with Isagenix. So if I go to a potluck thing, I will bake cookies with the protein in it, so that way it looks like I'm indulging, but I'm really not. So I like kind of fool myself, and also it's a good segue into oh, Sabrina, these cookies are so good. Oh, thanks. I actually used Isagenix protein in them. It's a really nice way to just kind of like throw in nuggets of stuff, but it's just so that way like I'm familiar with something around me, and I can continue that. I'm always going to do a shake a day, like that's just a given, and I think I'm going to steal that Renata doing once a week cleanse days, because like I'm Italian, so like it's tons of food around my life, and like my husband's Croatian, is tons of food, so I think I'm just gonna have to throw in those cleanse days and just continue cooking with Isagenix products and bringing them to places.
Yeah, exactly, which I was going to jump into there too. What were you going to say, Renata? Sorry.
Oh, and I'm going to make sure I wear a lot of tight clothes over the holidays.
Yeah.
So you feel if it's like, yeah, it's not a time for you.
So people are like, what? Yeah. They're like, yeah, we're starting a whole new, join the team. It's starting January 9th, right, Tidia?
Absolutely.
Mama.
New Year's resolution time, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. So here's the 6 things. I don't know if you guys have a pen and paper. So when I'm coaching someone about 6 things to keep in mind to continue to work towards their health goals or maintain, you want to think about 6 things. So sleep is important. So if they're using sleep spray, or you want to make sure that you're continuing to keep yourself on a regular sleep routine, make sure you get sufficient sleep or good quality sleep. All right. We may have short nights, but get good quality sleep. Stress is one of the second ones. So we want to maintain our stress. So keep your ionics consistent. All right. You want to make sure that you're still continuing to have that ionics first thing in the morning, and maybe an ionics tea. All right. If you are indulging, you can always use the hangover cure. Ionics, cleanse for life, and some hydrate before you go to sleep at night is very helpful. All right. If you do have a drink or 2 or 3 or 4, our thoughts, or 10. Our thoughts. So number 3 is thoughts. So it's stress, sleep, and thoughts. So again, this is something for you to utilize. I know you guys on this call are pretty on task, but how we think about our results and how we think about what we're doing. If people are stressing out about the fact that they're eating extra crap, and they're stressing about the fact that they're having a few extra drinks, and they're stressing about their family and everything else, they're going to sabotage themselves way more, because their cortisol is going to jump, right? If they just let it go and enjoy themselves and don't go super crazy, but helping people just balance the thoughts, helping them just stay, thinking about the affirmations, the positive languaging. I'm in the process of maintaining, my weight loss goal, or I'm in the process of maintaining my health over the holidays. I'm going to enjoy myself, but I'm not going to stress it. So thoughts are very key. Does that make sense, you guys, without going into a whole mindset piece on that? And then we've got hydration. So that's number 4. A hangover cure is, Keith, the hangover cure is cleanse for life. So do like a scoop or 2 of cleanse for life in your shaker cup. Ionic Supreme, so an ounce or like a scoop. And then half a hydrate stick or a bit of hydrate. And then tons of water. Chug that before you go to bed. Jen Romaski taught me that in Hong Kong one night, because she said, we have one day to sightsee tomorrow and you're not wrecking it hungover. So thank goodness she did that for me. That was a very friendly thing to do. Okay. So hydration, number 4. People need to drink a minimum of half their body weight in ounces in order to do basic function. So ideally, people want to drink ounce per pound of body weight. All right. Crank the water. Number 5, obviously nutrition. It's balancing our Isagenix. So if we're going to stick to the 5 pillars per day, or 4 pillars, ideally a shake a day, an ounce of Ionics a day, maybe a little bit of cleanse at night if people are not going to schedule their cleanse days. And then I would encourage people to continue with the vitamins. If they're not, if they're not being consistent with their vitamins, it's a good time to stay consistent. We're around a lot of people. People are coughing and sneezing and all that stuff. So we want to stay consistent with their vitamins. All right. And then, of course, the exercise piece, which has been mentioned here a couple of times. And Renata, I love the way that Renata talks about, and I always kind of joke, because I've been saying this since I was like, I don't know, in college. Do something active every day. It makes you feel great. But it's so true. Just keep moving. It doesn't have to be a full hour workout in the gym. It can be 7 to 10 minutes of intensive movement. dance to music, whatever it is, but keep moving. Okay, so those are my 6 tips. I was going to do 10. That's not 10. That's 10. 6 tips, all right, for the holidays. Recipes, pre-make healthy snacks, like Sabrina said. Stock up on ISA food. You know, chunk your chores. So I did my decorating this weekend because I know the next few weekends are nuts. So now the decorating's done, I don't have to stress about it. So chunk the chores. Think about what has to be done, the shopping and all of that. Shop at your ISA store, which we're going to talk about. Shake before you socialize, which Renata mentioned. Keep ISA delights, e-shots, hydrate, stuff like that in your purse, in your bag, whatever, your man purse. And make time for you. Remember to have 5 or 10 minutes a day just to even close your eyes and breathe a little bit. You know, de-stress a little bit. Journal if that helps you manage your mindset. All of those things are helpful. Okay, so we're going to go into some ideas for how we can keep sharing this gift of Isagenix over the holidays. So holidays are actually an ideal time to build. Did any of you guys listen to Pam Barnum's call the last couple of weeks, or last week, Tuesday night, about building through the holidays? Okay, so I'm going to share some of what was in her call, but I would encourage you to listen to it as well. And what I'm going to encourage you guys to do, you guys are all really serious about sharing Isagenix, and obviously the people that come out on the calls, sometimes it typically is the way because you definitely want to stay on with it. And if you're just listening in, then just ask yourself, is your business a hobby or is it actually a business? You know, is what you're doing with Isagenix a hobby or a business? Because if you are going to take 3 or 4 weeks off because it's Christmas, which is one day, then it's really a hobby for you. So ask yourself, am I serious? Am I interested in doing this, or am I committed? Because if you're committed, you want your friends and family, they need to see how passionate you are. That you're actually a professional that is really passionate and excited about sharing this gift with people because you truly care about helping people. I want to tell you that, you know, when I look back through my last 5 or 6 years, and, you know, Renata, Sabrina, I don't know if you guys have looked at yours, around this December, January, first week, second week, there was a lot of enrollments that went in. Like Kellyanne Zander, 2013 ISA Body Champ, she signed up on December 29th. You know, so that's the time of year when people are going to be thinking about, right now, they're thinking about their New Year's resolutions. They're thinking about how the end of the year, they may feel like poo because they're in the same place they were last year. They didn't commit to any of the things they said they were going to do in their New Year's resolutions, and New Year's resolution time is coming around again. And who do we want them thinking about when they're in that place and they're really ready to make some changes, right? Us. That's right. We want them to think about you because you want them to know that you have the solutions for them. But if we don't talk to them, we don't ask them questions, we don't get them thinking, they're not going to think about us. You're going to be, you know, probably seeing people you haven't seen for a while, reconnecting with, you know, people you haven't talked to in a long time, meeting new people. So it's a perfect opportunity to get back in touch with people, and not with the intention of, like, you know, verbal vomiting Isagenix all over everyone. It's a legit time to connect with people and find out where they are, how are they doing, what's going on in their family, how are they doing with their goals, you know, how are they finishing off the year, what are they excited about next year. Just really authentically get to know people, really have those casual, simple conversations just focused on building rapport, all right? You know, in that, you can reconnect with people and actually get contact information. Friend them on Facebook. Let them start to follow you and see who you are and what you're doing, right? You can also, if you are connecting with people who you are sharing some information with, think about what tools you could use simply. So whether you're just getting them, you know, friended on Facebook, you can also think about the ISA Tools app, which is a great way to be able to share them some information. Social media, sharing Freedom Tribe. You know, we can introduce people there that are taking a look to Freedom Tribe. We got lots of good stuff going through there. Thanks to you guys. Some of you guys on this call are really rocking it in the Freedom Tribe, which is great. And then just thinking about, you know, people are making decisions based on their feelings. It's not based on information. A lot of times people really don't care if there's no GMOs. They really don't care where the whey comes from a lot of times. They care about the fact that they feel like crap. You know, and they want to feel good. And we have something that can really help them feel better. You know, we want to talk about the things or ask them the questions that can lead us to sharing the information about what may be important to them. So when it comes to social media and what we're putting out there, obviously we all have our own identity. We all have our own brand that we're building. But ask yourself, am I sharing what this culture is all about? And am I sharing, being able to give back, being able to help this time of year? Am I sharing being able to, have more time at home over the holidays with my family? I don't have to work to the very last minute, have only one day off, and then go back to work. What are you sharing? Are you sharing your gratitude, sharing the health, transformations or information? Renata's been doing some really great little vids lately with her live videos, which has been awesome. Sharing the family time aspect. So we don't want to slam Isagenix. There's been a lot of talk on Facebook lately about don't hide behind it. We're all part of Isagenix. And I agree with that, especially if we've been building for a long time. People typically know that we're part of Isagenix. It's not a secret and it's not something we're trying to hide. But if you've got new people or if you're fairly new and you start slamming Isagenix all over the place, first of all, it's going to really it can turn people off. Sometimes it can, and it doesn't, if you're not coming from that authentic place about who you are and why you're sharing, it's what people feel from you about who you are and what you're sharing is really what's going to have people be intrigued and be willing to want to connect with you. And on that note, I just wanted to share a quick story with you guys too, actually. So one was a woman who I actually helped her get started 4 years ago. She returned her product in 2 weeks. And she really didn't do much with it, even when she did have it. So I kind of left her alone. I kind of touched base with her a little bit. We met through our kids. Haven't really had a lot of contact over the years, but I never really bugged her. I just kind of followed what she was doing, liked a couple of her posts. I knew she was kind of watching. She finally called me like a week and a half ago. And she called me and said, I've had like 2 people talking to me about Isagenix, one person in particular, but she goes, I always knew that when I was ready, I was coming back to you because I've been watching you. So people are watching. And then I had another one I just signed up today. And here's the thing about prejudging. We don't want to prejudge where people are in any way, shape, or form. If I had to prejudge this girl that I just signed up on a Pres Pack today, I would have thought she didn't have the money because she always had a money story every time I talked to her in the last couple of years. She always had a poverty mindset. But what I didn't know was that she has been dealing with a health issue, huge health issue for the last 6 weeks, or like 6 years. 6 years. She's been dealing with huge weight issues and everything else, and she's been watching. And so she said, when I knew I was ready, I knew I was coming to you. So keep that in mind, you guys, that they're really, really watching what's going on. So what are some of the things, I've got a lot of notes here, but I want to be mindful of your time. So here's some things that we can do, is that you can start to think about what you can do when you're physically with people. Start to think about what you can do on social media. And how can you connect with people, in sending Christmas cards, customer appreciation, maybe you're going to send little gift packs or CDs or, things that don't cost tons and tons of money. But what can you start to do to reach out to people at this time of year as a totally giving value, in some way giving value? And when it comes to, getting together, you could do like a holiday social. You could do a customer appreciation where you can have, different recipes and things like that. You can have your launch parties be, for a customer and have them bring a guest. Those that bring a guest can be eligible for a prize, that kind of thing. The other thing I was going to share with you is that think about stocking up. Sorry, Renata, do you want to talk?
Yeah, just for a quick second, you just reminded me totally, Tina, to let everyone know. I remember Christy Shaver shared that with us last year, that she bought Isa Delights and she just sent out Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas, whatever, a holiday little card to her inactive people or terminate people. And in it, she just put one little Isa Delight in there. And from that, she has so many more people kind of get reactivated. So thank you for reminding me. I totally forgot about that. I know it requires a little time and effort to buy stamps and mail that stuff out, but no one gets postage anymore. So it's a surprise for people to get. So I would recommend that. You're muted. You're muted, Tina.
Okay. And the Isa Delights are awesome because they're so thin and they don't cost a ton because it's not super heavy. So that's a great solution. So here's some different things, when it comes to, and Renata, you mentioned this, so jump in anytime, but teacher presents, coaches presents, stocking stuffers, little goodie bags. If you guys are doing parties or having parties, you can add products and, with gift cards, you could do you do baskets. Maybe it's a Survive the Holidays pack where it's got a couple of Isa Delights, a stick of Ionics, some Hydrate, maybe a bar or something, right? Stress relief pack. You've seen some little pictures of those mason jars going around on Facebook. Maybe it's an energy pack where you're giving them like a fuel, a hydrate, an e-shot or something like that. So for $5, $5 or $6, you could put together these packages, in bags or whatever. Some of the things that I know that I'm stocking up on is the Rejuvenity samplers, because they're basically $22 for 10 of them. They're like $2 something each. A sample shaker cup is $11. So, if you did that combined with a gift card for a teacher or something like that, it's a great gift. A hand cream and body wash. I love gifting the hand cream and body wash for people. They're $24 each, but they're great. And I use them all the time. But I've got these in my bathrooms. So when people come over, they see these and like, what is that? Sleep spray. If you know anyone who's not sleeping well, to gift them that or put it in their stocking, that's a great gift. Coffee samplers. I would encourage you to stock up on coffee samples right now because they're going to discontinue those in Canada. So you get 7 in a box. So they work out to like $2.30 each, or $2.60 for the organic one. But those are great to have as well. You could put those with for energy, like those with an e-shot and a fuel or something like that, right? So show that you're passionate about the products and sharing the products, having those things around to be able to put together and gift things. And I would encourage doing some sort of a write-up or some sort of don't just give the product, but give them something that goes with it. And, just wanted to share this with you because I know how passionate you are about what you're doing, or, I know how much, whatever, just wanted to share something for a super healthy, quick and simple energy shot to get you through the Christmas period or something like that. Throw something else with it and maybe even a link to, website or information or something like that. All right. Is that helpful? Okay, I think the other thing, again, there's all kinds of recipes. So if you're having people over, make the healthy recipes like Sabrina talks about. Do a potluck, have a bunch of different things available. If you're doing cookie exchanges, some people get into these cookie exchanges, do protein balls. And then you're going to be sharing, you can bring some sample packs of the protein with you. You're going to be sharing the ingredients list in the recipe card with what's in that. Have e-shots and Isa Delights, with you when you go Christmas shopping, because a lot of the people working retail are exhausted. They're fatigued. They would love to have a little chocolate. So you can, connect with them on Facebook and then give them a chocolate. Don't give them free stuff unless you're taking their contact information. Make sure that you connect with them, because otherwise, like Pam says, you'll be like Santa. And then the other thing that is mentioned is, the customer appreciation is key for actives. And then also your inactives, like Renata mentioned, and get out there, accept the invitations to social things, get out there and meet people, connect with people, because you never know where you're going to meet that 1 or 2 people that, really do want to hear more than just about, what the products are. Because come January, when people are looking at their credit card bills and people are feeling exhausted from the holidays and they're not really feeling themselves, their clothes fit even less better than they did before. You want them to be thinking about you and the solutions that we have to offer. And this is where we're going to go into, Renata and I will have some more information in the next little bit, but we're working on doing an Isa Body group moving into, Renata, do you want to touch on that a little bit? We're going to have more details coming up, but keep in mind that for people wanting to get in shape in the new year, we're going to have a really cool program for them to jump into.
Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty big with all of our teams, all of us here, cross-link, but not everybody, but quite a few key people who have successfully either won the Isa Body Challenge or finalists or just have gotten great results, etc. And this is invited to all of us and down into our team. So once we know the exact details, the flyer might be done by this Friday. So already next week, we should be able to infiltrate it into our teams and start talking to people about it. The ideal time for all of us to start it will be January 9th. And it's just like Killian and Sabrina, like you guys did, just like an Isa Body Challenge runs for 16 weeks. It's going to start January 9th, and it's a 16-week, but it's going to be full massive support. So, Tina will be providing for those, who want home exercises. Jen Ramasky will do in gym. I'll do maybe something quick. Sabrina maybe is going to do some recipes. Like, I don't know. We're just going to have so much valuable information there, and it's going to be for anyone for any of us, but everyone has to prove that they're registered in the Exit Body Challenge. So this is going to be a great thing, because you guys know everyone's resolutions, right? As you talk to everyone over the holidays now in December, are going to be 2 things: get healthier and fit, and make more money. Those are their resolutions, right? So, you know, that's an ideal time to be speaking to everyone. And hopefully that last week in December, or second last week, is when you're going to start getting these people all plugged in, so they have all their products ready to go. So as a big, massive group, we start January 9th. And we're going to make this as easy as possible, so it's not a new working project for all of us. But I think it's going to be a great energy group. And there's going to be not set Zoom calls, but little snippets of live Facebook videos, so people can go back and look at during their day, because so many people do work and are tight with their hours, etc. So I think it's going to be a very, very valuable group.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a good thing to keep in mind for when you are speaking with people, because again, it's a great time to follow up with people that you maybe have spoken to, and you know, they weren't interested, that wasn't the time for them. They might be ready for something like this when it's the time. So we'll share more information. And one of the last notes I want to share with you guys as we just close up the call is that this is what James McLeod had said on the start call previously. And I know a lot of us, you know, we talk about the products. A lot of us lead with the products. I'll speak for myself. Typically lead with the product, because that has been in the past more the comfort zone. However, you know, it is something to be said about the fact that we do have an opportunity here for people to be able to change their lives financially, and to be able to eat the food, you know, for free, and continue to eat the food for free and bring in a residual income. And, you know, what I loved was he said, you won't have a business if you don't talk about the business. You'll have a storefront. Some people will see what you're doing right away. Some people will take longer. We all know that. We've had people jump on it and get it right away. We've had people who've taken months and months or years before they get it. But let them decide. But it's our responsibility to show them what's available. So on that note, I'm not saying go out and slam the business with everyone that you're talking to. What I'm actually saying is listen, not just to what people are saying, listen to what's behind what they're saying. Okay, listen to what's behind, because they may not be just sharing with you exactly what's going on truthfully in their life, but they may need this more than just from a product standpoint in the new year. And we'd love to be able to be the answer for them in their life and help them move forward. So on that note, I appreciate you so much for being here. Thanks for your input. If you guys have any other closing thoughts or comments or ideas, let me know. Any other thoughts of what you wanted to touch on next week? Otherwise, we'll go ahead and I'll let you guys know what's coming up. Thank you guys. Big love to you.